Okay, so this video today is about landing pages and how they coincide with running a ad campaign on Google Ads through the Google Ads program. And basically and specifically, not just should I use a landing page, but how many landing pages do I need, which is not a common question people ask. So I thought I would knock this out today in this video here that you're watching. So in any case, I have a small list of considerations, as I usually do for my videos, that explains how many different landing pages you'll need to have decent results on your campaign, when you think you should be able to have more or less, or if you need them, and basically what the differences should be with those landing pages, since you are going to use more than one if you're in a situation where you need to use more than one landing page. And so, but what I'll start out with saying here, basically you're trying to evaluate first, do you need a landing page that's separate from the website that you have now to send traffic to? For most niches out there, especially in anything competitive, usually anymore to compete, you got to be able to have a dedicated page that's going to have all the psychological elements on that page to be able to convert a visitor very quickly once they get to the page. If you know that visitor, basically that visitor already knows what they want when they click on your ad. Assuming your ad and your campaign is set up right, and you should spend or waste no time at all, in other words, to convey exactly what they want to know so that they can respond right away. For a lead generation campaign, that process happens very quick. For an e-commerce campaign, maybe not so much, but in any case, your current website, probably as it exists, is, if it were to be set up for something that was good for an ad campaign, it'd be too aggressive, whereas the landing page that you want to have for your ad campaigns to get the most conversion rate possible is going to be very aggressive. And so that's why you usually have a separate landing page. And so basically what I did here was I came out with a chart that basically shows you the typical conversion rates from Google Ads, search ads specifically, not display, that you should expect from your campaign, and if it's not to that minimum threshold, when you should basically know that you need to add a landing page in general. I'll start with that. So basically here I came up with, if you're running a lead generation campaign, it really just depends on how much the goods or services that you're trying to sell are. For lead generation campaign, which you're basically talking about services, if what you're selling is under $1,000 in price, usually you're going to have to need, or you should be able to expect, I should say, a 15% conversion rate from your landing page or greater in order to be competitive in the market space that you're in. If your service is between $1,000 and $3,000 in price, you should expect at least a 7% conversion rate. And then if your product or service is over $3,000, your conversion rate should be at least 2%. And if you're not getting that, you know that you're missing the mark, and you're probably going to have trouble basically making your campaigns make money. And so that'll be a bottleneck for you. That said, for e-commerce campaigns, it's a little bit different. So if you actually sell what on and can check out through a shopping cart on your website specifically and take the orders through the site, it doesn't have to be exclusively, but also if you put your orders through the site. I have a different table here kind of mapped out of kind of, are you to the benchmark where you should be in order to have a fighting chance to make money from your campaigns and build an account that can actually scale, which you probably want. So with that said, the numbers are a little different. If what you sell on your e-commerce site is less than $100, your conversion rate should be at least 3%. If what you sell is between $100 and $300, roughly, it should be more than 2%. If it's between $300 and $500, it should be more than 1%. If it's between $500 and $1,000, it should be at least 0.5%. If it's what you sell is between $1,000 and $5,000, it should be at least 0.25% converting to a sale. If what you sell was between $5,000 and $20,000, you should be at least at 0.15% to a sale. in terms of your conversion rate on your page that you're taking users to. And if what you sell is between $20,000 and $100,000 in price, you should be able to get at least 0.8% conversion rate. Those are rough benchmarks as to what you should be able to have and need on your campaign in order to make the rest of your campaign work, essentially. And so if you're not getting those numbers, then you should already know that you need to have something done with your landing pages. You have 3 basic options to deal with that. One of which, and they're put in order in the way that you should evaluate them and what you need. Maybe you'll need more than one, probably need more than one. The overall thing that you can do right away, if you don't think your page is up to standard, what your competitors are using, and just, for whatever reason, your page is way off the mark, you can do what it's called radical redesign. You're basically just going to generate a whole new landing page design itself. It's just totally separate and designed from your main site to have what it needs to be able to generate these conversion rates. Basically, if you think you're close to the mark, a lot of times it's cheaper, easier, less risk to just take the page that you have, or if you already have a landing page, and just add a few different elements to your page, which is your partial redesign. 4 quick things that I know that I usually add to a page in that type of situation where I know I'm close to get more conversion rate to get it up to these benchmarks would be adding more pictures to your site in terms of an e-commerce site or videos. And then the other 2 big things for e-commerce and non-e-commerce both is testimonials and reviews. Those are the main things that people are looking for, that you can quickly and easily add, at least in terms of, and not needing a whole new radical redesign of the landing page that you have. Beyond that, you can also be more minor than that. The 3rd thing on our list here is you can change the above the fold elements, mainly the headline itself. The headline, given that you want the headline to have a good sales copy principles built within it, but more specifically, you can make sure that the keyword that the user's typing in shows up in that headline each time, and then this name of the city or the neighborhood or what or have you, or state, is in the above the fold before you scroll on the page when the user gets there, is there so that they also know if you have a local service that you are close by, they don't have to think. You're always trying to eliminate any potential doubt in the user's mind, even though it doesn't seem that significant. It certainly does make a huge difference in determining if you're going to get those numbers that I described there below. So with that said, more specifically with your lead generation campaigns, if you're running a local company, as I mentioned, so you're going to want, if you're not hitting these numbers, you got your design together, you have the elements I mentioned nailed down, testimonials, reviews, you're going to want to check so you're going to have every keyword that you're bidding on in your account is going to have one ad group, and therefore one ad that has the keyword in the ad group, and then which is called the SCAG model. But then more so than that, which most people don't also extend to, is have the landing page. You'll make a copy of your landing page, 1 copy for every single keyword that you have, and make sure the headline has the keyword, and make sure that the city that your user is searching about or is in there, so they know that you offer exactly what was on the ad and you're in the market, so they can respond right away. That's going to be able to help you get your conversion rates that you need to make money. On a national campaign, where you're not doing local but also still under lead generation, in the lead generation category, you can do the same thing, but you don't need the city obviously there, and you just put the keyword. But it's also, you can usually get 40% more conversion rate on your page just by adding these 2 things here, just to put it into perspective. On an e-commerce campaign, you're going to do the same kind of things there, but for e-commerce, it's usually, I'll go for each ad group and ad and keyword that you set up, you're going to have to hand pick whether it's an individual product, a category page, or an search results page that you're going to take the user to, and decide on a keyword by keyword basis, so that you can make sure to get these conversion rates I mentioned on your site that you need to be able to have a chance to make money. But beyond that, what I will do is I'll make a mirror copy, for instance, of if you go into the search bar on your e-commerce site and type in the keyword, whatever pops up there for products, I'll take that page, I'll put it on an individual landing page by itself that I build, and then I'll also add a custom headline to the top of that page, which then has the keyword in it. So I can have not only just a page that's specifically geared towards the items that the person's looking for, all on the page already figured out for them, but also it says right up at the top what they were searching for, so they know instantly when they get the page at the right place, and they don't need to, think in order to go through and start analyzing the products and offer that you're making to them. So that's just another quick, basic way that you're going to be able to get your conversion rates up here to the point where you can make money. That's just something that you can do in terms of the landing page strategy, and then that would tie into needing a lot of landing pages. So all in all, though, regardless of its lead generation campaign, e-commerce campaign, the answer to the question about how many pages you need is how many keywords do you have. You can sometimes have a few less landing pages than keywords by grouping things together, but for the most part, you will have hundreds, if not thousands, before you've built up a campaign that can spend 5 figures of ad spend a month and make a few $1 million a year. But it's worth it, obviously. You just gotta, and it will certainly be worth it for you. You just have to put that work in, and because your competitors are not doing it or don't want to do it, they're lazy, don't know how, combination thereof, you have that huge opportunity to be able to get higher conversion rate, which is going to get you in position to outcompete the people that also want the ad space from you, and lock yourself into position where you're going to have consistent revenue month after month, year after year from your business coming in. And so you'll have many landing pages ultimately at the end of the day. Unless, of course, you're able to meet these numbers without it, you could probably get by in a lot of markets that aren't so competitive by just having one good landing page that you use here, and same thing by doing and picking one good page that's already naturally on your site for e-commerce to send people to. But if you add this custom headline strategy in with your strategy that you're using to build your campaigns, you're going to have, again, 40% or so more on top of what everybody else is getting from that same click. And you're certainly going to want to make sure you have all the micro elements in there that I mentioned that you need: testimonials, reviews, more than the average person's pictures and videos, having the testimonials and reviews linked to actual social profiles that prove the review that you have is real. Headshots matter a lot more than just a text review, way more, and do that kind of stuff. And if you add that in there, there's really no reason why, just if you did everything on that checklist I gave you there without going into any further detail, you can't hit these numbers and be in a position where you're going to for sure be able to make the rest of your campaign work if you set everything else up as efficiently as this. And so, but to sum everything up too, as a byproduct of doing all this, your SEO, how will it be affected here? Those pages, those hundreds of thousands of pages that you set up just to be able to do well with your PPC campaign there, your Google search campaign on Google, to get these conversion rates that you need to make money, those pages are going to get found by Google eventually, and they're going to rank well. And so, realistically, almost half of what you make, because nobody else has custom pages for every single search term that people search for, they're going to rank, and because they're set up well to convert well, they're going to rank, and because you can use the ad copy that you use to set up your ad in the mated title of each page for organic purposes, it's going to rank. And therefore, let alone being able to have 40% more just from having the headline, or another 2 to 3x on your conversion rate from doing the proper design, having the right core elements on there. You're going to have another doubling of whatever leads you're going to get just from the organic, and in addition to the rest of your organic strategy, having a page that's perfectly designed for a particular keyword to rank well and have it sitting there. And so I just wanted to also throw that in, let you know that yes, it does seem a little crazy to set up 2,000 pages for your ad campaign to make sure everything converts at the highest rate it essentially can, with the amount of effort put in. It'll also pay off just because of the SEO stuff too as well. So anyway, that's a tutorial as to how many landing pages you need for your Google search campaign in order to make a lot of money, make it work. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer those. I have a lot of other videos just like this on my channel. Go ahead and check those out. And good luck to you in setting up your ad campaigns, and your landing pages for your search campaign you're setting up.